We're on. Good. We're on. All right. Welcome back to Shamanic Innovations. I'm your host, Derek. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it means that you're at part 3 of the third part of the podcast. And I know I haven't been on the YouTube for a while, but I thought this would be something kind of doubly important here that I could, use as kind of way to spread everything out. What I kind of wanted to get into is how we see ourselves, very much, especially our body image. And I wanted to kind of ask a little bit of a question here, really, to start. A couple questions, really. One, when's the last time you weighed yourself in public? But 2, what did you really think of you were going to be? How did you really think your life was going to turn out? What did you really picture for yourself? As far as how would you look as an adult? No, I'm not asking, hey, are you going to be a doctor or a lawyer? Are you like the 5-year-old? Like, when I grow up, I'm going to be this. No, I'm asking, how did you think when you were a kid? How did you think your adult self would look? What type of picture did you have for your adult life? Did you think you'd be tall, short, lighter skin, darker skin, maybe a different color hair naturally, or you just change your hair color altogether? Did you think maybe you'd have all your limbs still? I know that's a far out question, but things happen. Think you'd be the same, gender, or walking around at least trying, saying you're the same gender. Did you see yourself always as somebody else? Let's ask that question. How did you see yourself as an adult? Did you see yourself with a beard, or with just a goatee, or with just a mustache, or with a trim beard without, really a full fluffy beard? How did you think your hair was going to be? Was it going to be the high top fade? Was it going to be like kind of low and short right on the scalp, shaved and let it grow out, big fro, dreads, long, wavy, curly, straight? What did you think? How did you see yourself? When you were imagining yourself as president or, leader of this company or whatever, star athlete, star musician, whatever, when you had that dream of yourself as a kid, what did you think you would look like? Did you think you'd be skinny? Did you think you'd be fit? Like, wrestler, Did you think you'd be a fat kid? Really? Did you think you'd be overweight? Go ahead, you confess up. You confess up on this because, yeah, I was that person. I really thought, and I didn't really have that much of an idea of what weight was as a kid, for an adult. I knew there were some bigger people, and then I knew there were people in my family that just, okay, you just weigh 250. No big deal. Okay, you just weigh 300 pounds. No big deal. Okay, you're at 4. Maybe we should call somebody. Whatever. They were just bigger people. And really, hey, some of these people, a lot of the guys did work, construction, I had a cousin also who was like a basketball coach, so I have like some athletic people also in my family, it's a big family, extended, whatever, big boys there, I look at my dad's side of the family, one uncle's, ex-Army, the other one's like, I don't even know how to describe him, he's like he does carpentry, he tries to be Jesus or something, but, they're both fit dudes, especially where their age. They're fit dudes, pretty big, not like big fat, but they're like big fit, And that's the thing, you can be like big fit, something, maybe it'll be like big fit, maybe big fat, who knows, either way, or, it's kind of in between fat and fit, where it's like, oh, you have the belly, but you also got some muscle. Okay, so great, I'll be like 250, 275, There are wrestlers look like that, they look great, I'll be that, I'll be fine, right? And a lot of it was, okay, I'll just be the lazy ass who turns into, because that's what I saw. Because that's what a lot of people see. Growing up, I can remember one of the ways that you showed love to people was with food. I mean, it's crazy enough to think of, but yeah, if you love someone, you feed them. What a novel concept! It's something Jesus would do. Just giving a little side wink to the political folks. Anyway, but yeah, you feed people because you love them. I get that. And one thing I can say really with that is kind of the reverse is you tend to overfeed people because you love them a lot and you can't really afford to do so. And you have this sense of lack and you have this scarcity and you have this fear about having that lack. One thing I can remember is going to places with buffets. And, yeah, it made sense. Hey, for, $6, $7, $8, $10, whatever it is now, let's go back 20, 25, 30 years. $6, $7, $8, you can, all you can eat. Slap it on there. Let's go. If you feeding, 4 or 5 people, that might add, so that you don't have to do the dishes afterwards and this and that. And, everybody has their different tastes because they start growing. So I remember, we would maybe go have a buffet, a couple nights out of the week. It was nothing, And nobody in our house was over, 3. I don't really know what mom's weight was, at her heaviest. But, I remember her having some heavy days. I remember myself having some heavy days, as an adult also. But I never really, as a kid or even as a teen, whatever, I thought I was like a, regular sized person. Most of my 20s was spent around, I'll say it, 180, 185, maybe 190. Most of my 20s was also spent a little wild, crazy party kid, Oh, who has time to eat when, you can be out partying, woo! So, but yeah, And I've always had sort of I'll show it off for the camera, folks. It's kind of a gut, I'm going to call it a gut. Yeah, I know, do some crunches, yeah. I'm getting to that part. But what I'm going to say with that is, every time I've looked down, is that I always see something there. Even when I've done the crunches, and, even now, I'm just like, that's where we're going with this. Is, even once you get into things, you start to kind of see things. But I've always kind of seen that, I've always kind of seen, okay, there's a bit of, this and that. Okay, some flub here, whatever. Whatever, fine, Everyone else in the family's big. I guess I'm just getting big too. And kind of being out on self and, controlling self. I think I've been buying my own clothes since 16 when I first, got my job there. You're still growing at that age, So you probably need someone to go with you and make sure that stuff fits and isn't just something that looks good, And I'm, you get in that mentality of, hey, you want to hide. A big thing for me was to try to hide, a lot of it. So you buy bigger clothes. But yeah, I got to this point of, in the 30s where it kind of exploded up. It went up to about 245, almost 250. I'm going to say 245, and then I'm going to say that's when I stopped weighing myself in front of people at Publix. And I'm sure the medical records go a little bit, because they make you take out your stuff when you go to the doctor. They make you basically strip down. Versus Publix, it's like, oh yeah, you got all my stuff in the pocket. It's great, whatever. Have you seen my cell phone? Really? This thing's a brick in itself. Okay, it's the size of your head. But okay, good. Didn't kill the podcast. But yeah, so I found myself, at that 245. And this was actually a few years back. And I can say it was 245 with, having some drinks, on the weekends, because that's what you're told that you need to do to kind of, keep yourself loose. Out with friends, whatever. I did, experiment with other things. They tell you to try different medications, to help your mind, help your body, help sleep. Sleep was a big thing for me a few years back. You know, it was a question of, hey, am I going to be able to get up and go to work at, I'll say maybe I have to work at 6 a.m. till midnight, and then back at work at 6 a.m. So I just need to go home and conk out for a few hours. Oh, wait, actually, you know what? This next week, I'm going to be going to work where I'll go to work at 10 p.m. and, or, 10, 11, maybe 1 a.m., come home at 7 and just sleep throughout the day, So I need to be able to sleep definitely throughout the day at some point during the day so that I can go to work at, this overnight time. So that becomes something, that becomes a real big, thing on your body. When your body is basically just up and sleep, and you're not really eating a lot, and you're not eating a lot healthy, it's not that I ate a lot healthy, not that I eat a lot healthy now. I can pull over dinner. In honor of my buddy Josh, it's actually Subway. It's a wrap from Subway. I had them make me up like a kind of chicken Caesar wrap, like spinach, and I'm sure the Caesar dressing's just bad as the chicken's good or whatever, But it was just kind of like I don't even feel like trying to go. It's like a real restaurant. I'm just tired. I don't feel like dealing with people because as I sit here and I look at the half a wrap that's sitting over there from where I was only able to eat half of it right now, because it's I don't know 90 something degrees outside, and I've been out all day running some errands and just haven't felt like eating. And it's just that's another factor. Hey. If you're out in the sun, especially all day in Florida, you don't feel like eating because it's hot. You're not really taking care of yourself. You're not staying as, so your body just starts to use all the stuff that's already in there. And that's a big thing also is that, I remember this here. The 245 was probably 2014, 2003. I'd have to have some friends quote me exactly. They could probably tell you better. I want to say 14, 15, I was probably at my biggest, I had people legit calling me Big D, and I bought size 42 pants, and they fit. It's kind of weird, like, I know I'm kind of rambling about this, but, it all has points, yeah. I went, actually, just on my way home before stopping for the Subway wrap, to Salvation Army, just because it just happened to be one with this red light. I was like, all right, fine, I'll stop. Because I wanted to see if they had any shorts in my new size. Because I don't really know what my new size is. And the only reason I didn't buy any is because Salvation Army, please, maybe, I get it, okay, $2. But for $2, could you at least, tell me what size it is? So I don't have to, like, look through each one and try to figure, okay, is this yeah. But, I bought all these shorts. I can remember like buying actually some clothes before getting divorced actually. So this is how I was expecting it. Before getting divorced and after getting divorced. Especially after, because I was like, oh, I need new clothes. I'm single now. Well, we all go through it. So I bought all these clothes, and a lot of it were shorts because I'm in Florida. And it was like 42s. Because I was like, all right, I'm going to be out. It's going to be summertime. I'm going to rock these shorts. It's going to be great. I'll get like 42s. There'll be a couple pairs of 40s, I think, that I just had or whatever, but I'll get some 42s, and it'll be cool. And it's like I bought them. I bought, everything else I owned was like 40s or whatever, and it's going to be 42s. I was like, okay, the 42s will fit. The 40s will be kind of tight, and eventually I'll have to get rid of those. Great, and that's just what I'm expecting my life to become, is I'm going to be this 42. Needless to say, I'm not a size 42 right now. Kind of fun to say that, actually. And it's been fun, except for the fact that it's like everything now looks like it's falling off of me. I used to make fun of the people who's like, oh, go buy a belt. Now it's like, I need to go buy a belt. Seriously. That was actually why I looked, but they didn't have any belts, at least not any size. And I didn't really trying to try on everything. You should probably go to like a real store. I know. Here's me being cheap instead of being real. But, I found myself where nothing's fitting. Nothing's actually happening. Because here I was a couple years ago, I bought clothes, and, now I'm taking those clothes to the Salvation Army to drop off. All these shorts will probably, I took a bunch of pants actually over there a few months back, and now all these shorts that I have will probably end up following with me going and just buying shorts that are my size, just because it's like, hey, nothing fits. Everything is, a few sizes too small. And I can say that, over the past couple of years, yeah, there's probably been some stress in my life involved with that. Losing a parent is difficult. Losing a, friend is difficult. Losing a roommate, losing a idol, losing a whoever, we all lose. So losing an election, yes, that was difficult. So imagine losing 2016. Yeah, that was pretty difficult. So I'd imagine any of us, who have lost since then, we probably have lost some weight also. It's just, and some of that is okay. We don't really take care of, and but I like to also hope that some of that is kind of learning to take care of. In being that way, I guess it could have gone two ways. One being that, hey, I could be fitting in those 42s, or have those 42s on like, man, these are tight. But instead, I've tried to find ways to keep myself going and active, and tried to figure out better things to put into my system. This guy's obviously helped a great deal. And I got to say, water is probably, just switching down to water has probably been one of the bigger things. The Qigong's been helpful, if for no other reason. Being able to move, especially, doing the little 8-minute workout right there, thumping the chest. Hopefully the podcasters can hear me thumping my chest here, but, yeah, doing that little bit just kind of helps out there. You're gonna get that little movement going, and getting some better food in. I've kind of, for better or worse, kind of steered away from a lot of doing a lot of sweets. Obviously, when you cut to a water for your drink, that's cutting out your teas, your cokes, it's cutting out a lot of that sugar right there. Hallelujah, because that would be a thing. I can remember going, let's say I spent a lot of time in buffet restaurants. So for a while we ate at Golden Corral, for a while I worked at Golden Corral. And I remember, especially when I worked at Golden Corral, there are families that I saw coming in there every other day, like 2, 3, 4 times a week. You got to know the wife, the kids. Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, I did the shout out because we're still Facebook friends after 15 years of your family work, coming to Golden Corral all the time. But I got to see like all these great people come in. The unfortunate thing is, you get to see people come in and they're like piling these, giant plates on with the Diet Coke. That is like the worst thing you could possibly drink ever. Yeah, and hey, that's what makes sense. During my time there, I didn't really do Diet Coke, but I lived off of sweet tea. And I would work like, hey, you telling me I can be in this place and it has food and it's basically open to close, and I can basically work an open to close shift? All right, cool. I'd work like open to close, Friday, Saturday, like Thursday through Sunday, and have Monday through Wednesday off, let's say. That was cool for me. Or, Monday through, whatever. But I work a couple open to closes maybe in there, like a Saturday open to close or something. Just so I could do that. Have the hours, have the overtime, kick it in the gear like that. Maybe like split the shift up type of deal, whatever. So that means, hey, you are up and you need to be awake for those customers right as they pop in the door at 8 a.m. for their pancake breakfast or whatever, and then omelet bar. And that means whatever, if you're a caffeine person, great. I'm not really a coffee drinker. It shoots through me like gunpowder. It's like, take a sip and it's right out the ass. Just, whew. So more of a tea drinker, yeah. And I can remember, my mom and I, she did hot tea in the morning. She would do hot tea a lot of times, just randomly, whatever. She'd sweeten herself if she needed to. And then sweet tea, was just kind of, there was always sweet tea around. It's Florida, sweet tea was water. Really, sweet tea down here, pretty much is interchangeable for a lot of people, including myself. No unsweet. No, you don't take that. You take that unsweet shit back up north. Sweet tea because you're in Florida. And I can say that even though I'm born in New Jersey. I grew up around a bunch of Southerners. My mom's Southern, whatever. Sweet tea. Yeah. So yeah, you can just imagine how much of this is. Oh my goodness, I must be dead. But I would wake up, go to work. Okay, I got to be there at 7 to open the store. Sweet tea. I got to sample the tea. Hey, somebody's got to. That was just what I had all day. If I'm closing midnight, I'd, rock my sweet tea, be the glass that I'm cleaning up. If I'm the dishwasher, yep, last thing I'm cleaning up, my sweet tea glass, that's the last thing going in, because boom, we out, I gotta have, that's my constant right there. Right now, it's like water. Love my water. But, yeah, you can just imagine, the stuff that's, gone through. And just to make that sort of change alone, I'm sure has helped. I still love my chocolate chip cookies. Bring them on. Snickerdoodles, I'm down with those. Peanut butter cookies. I'm not really an oatmeal raisin person. And here's the thing. Oatmeal's cool, but raisins need to get the hell up out of there. Oatmeal raisin cookies that look chocolate chip cookies are the reason why people have trust issues. Bet is because of those raisins. Get them out. No, don't bring your fruit up in my cookie. Okay. Give me my chocolate chip. Now, with that said, I definitely have a lot less of those now than, I probably, I've tried to have a lot less of, some things. Okay, let's, bring in a salad. Let's bring in, what's that stuff called? Kale. Yeah. Let's have kale. Let's have a smoothie drink, an acai bowl. Those things are actually excellent. I'm actually at the point of, okay, I'm going to try this, that, whatever, great. And a lot of it really is me just getting more comfortable with myself and getting more comfortable with, the foods around me. And a lot of, getting more comfortable with myself is, what can I eat? What can I experiment with? What can I explore and have? I've never really been a person to, want to vary that off. It's been kind of the same diet. And now I guess I'm at a point of my life where I want to explore it more and, try different things. So, maybe that's been helpful. I mean, there's so many different ideas. There's always a different idea. There's this thing, I'm sure you millennials call it intermediate fasting. For the rest of us, it's called skipping breakfast. The door! And is that good for you? Is that bad for you? Yeah. Okay, so, but here's the thing. If you do the intermediate fasting, but you have lemon juice in your water first thing, is that the, but can you then just eat after having, can you have the lemon juice with, just lemon juice? Is that what's, bringing the weight, you tell me, okay? Is it lemon juice and breathing heavy? What is it? Am I crying all the weight out of me? You tell me, okay? Leave it in the comment section below, especially you YouTubers. Leave in the comment section what's, bringing all the weight off. It'll be interesting to read those. Maybe I'll do another funny spoof video later on just those comments. But really for a lot of it is just me not caring what has brought it off as much as me being able to see it. I haven't really been able to see it. As I said, every time I look down, I see the same cut. I see the same definition. I see the same little bit of a gut there. It kind of folds over. I mean, thankfully, I can actually look down and see, D-Rock if he's, standing up or whatever. I know there are men out there who have that issue where they cannot look down there and, see that. I think that would be the point. And maybe that would, but I was always able to do that, standing up great. That being said, though, yeah, it's nice to take some weight off. They take some off, yeah, you probably need to do some crunches here, do some, yogas there, whatever. A few dozen more of those Qigong moves, would be great for you. There's all types of things, even just, the posture, how I'm sitting now. If I could correct that even just on the daily basis. I know it's a lot easy, especially because I have a table here. I can just, but just being able to, little things that, what can I do to correct these, little bits and pieces, twerk here, tweak there, you know, if I wanted to have that, but that's the thing. It's like I have to have it here first. I have to have it in the mind. You have to have that image of yourself really in the mind before you can have it anywhere else. You have to manifest that. There's a lot of really cool videos and things on manifesting, whatever, especially manifesting stuff with your body. A little shout out to my girl Heather Hoffman. She actually has a really cool one on like manifesting your body image or something. I believe that's how it goes. She has a bunch of really cool ones. Just go check her out. But there's a lot of things on how you can, if you want to have this great body, you can just think it, and it's a lot more than just thinking. You have to actually, do things and, prepare, and everyone will tell you that. But you have to actually see that, within yourself, and it has to be something where you can actually look and see, okay, well, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going, It's a lot of what I've talked about really with this. Here's my starting point. Here's where I'm at. Here's the target of, where I want to go, my goal, and then just putting the feet in front of each other and going, moving, keep moving forward. I kind of saw something really interesting that, it's kind of played into this image here because, for the longest I haven't really been able to see much good with, me, with my life, with myself, with, body and all that, the external. It's weird because, I'm pretty sure that I'm a, reasonably good-looking person. But I don't know if it's, don't be conceited about yourself, but I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm the sexiest thing ever. That being said, I have always, and actually I'll put it like this. This is even better. Wait. I'm going to tell you guys a little story. This is a story of the little boy who did not know how to take a compliment. There once was a little boy who did not know how to take a compliment. Every day he would walk out of his house and people would give him a compliment. They'd give him a great compliment, a wonderful compliment. It'd be the best compliment in the world. They would tell him he had a beautiful soul. But he didn't know how to take that. He wasn't sure. He couldn't see it in himself. He maybe had someone else tell him differently. He just didn't know how to answer what they would say. So each time a person would come up and they would say, "You have a beautiful soul," he would get scared. He'd get frightened. He'd get confused. He might answer something a little crash, like, shake, walk away, or bop them on their nose. He might even tell them, quote, "You're the first person to tell me that today," with a smile, wanting to tell them how great it, made him feel that someone actually noticed his soul that day. But he would never be able to make those words come out right because he didn't know how to actually accept it in himself. Do you want to know what happened to that little boy? He grew up and started making YouTube videos. Yeah, so I've never been able to take that compliment. Yeah, I are witness to the soul, and I've never been able to take that compliment. Like, never. Like, I can remember, being 10, 8 even, 6, whatever, at Wendy's, and I come up to the thing, I'm like, "Hi, can I have my hamburger with no cheese?" And they're like, "You have really beautiful eyes." And I'm like, "Can you just make the hamburger with no cheese? Like, please? This is the 4th time I've asked you." "Really? You have really beautiful eyes." "I just want my hamburger with no cheese." Shout out to Wendy's. But I love that. Wendy's, women at church, school teachers, bosses, Yeah, didn't know, I didn't know how to answer you. Sorry. I instantly froze, became a 10-year-old. You're the first person to say that today, and I don't really know what else to say other than, I'm sure a simple thank you, works, but it's like, how do you say thank you? Other than just kind of generically, it's like, and especially for something that to me looks like fun. Thank you. I don't know. It's just one of those things that goes with work. You just can't really see the beauty in yourself. Yeah, it's and maybe that's something that we all need to learn here. We all need to be able to turn around into that proverbial "How you doing, mirror?" Turn around into that mirror and be like, "Hey, listen. Learn to see the beauty in yourself. Learn to see that you are actually a beautiful person. Learn to see that you are actually a good person, a kind person. Learn to see that you got this. Learn to see that you're good. You know what you're doing. You're good at this. You got this. Learn to see that beauty in yourself." Maybe that's the whole point, is that we all need to learn that little part there. Because it is terribly hard. There's so many things that are going to tell you opposite of that. You're brought up with everything, You're religiously taught to not be vain and not, boisterous, and not, which is fine, don't be, where you think you are God's gift to life and, you walk around thinking that you're everything. I get that much, don't put yourself too high. But instead we put ourselves low. We're taught to be meek, and instead we put ourselves low. And, maybe for some of us, we've had, a family member, be it a parent, sibling, whoever, that, maybe they've had some sort of, self-esteem issue or, some sort of issue, whatever, where they feel it necessary to put you down, And, as I say that, there's actually, two sides of the coin there. One is, the family member may be trying to keep you humble. I got to air quote that even as I say it. But, you might have a singing voice. And instead of them saying, "You know what, you're the best singer ever," and just encouraging you to go, you're like, it's flat on that note there. We should practice that again. You kind of flubbed that word. You need a little more oomph, They want to keep you humble, and that kind of knocks you down a little bit because you lose that confidence in yourself. There's no initial, "That was good." I think if we started our criticisms with a "that was good," maybe people would be more receptive of them. They might take them more constructively. They might learn more from them versus, "Let's criticize." That was good, but let's criticize. Instead, switch the idea up. "That was good. Here's how we can do it better, but that was good. Let's go." Bring it out. Bring it out to people. So maybe, you had that, criticism type person, but maybe you also had, a person that, or a protection type person, say with the first type, especially for a lot of us, black males here. We maybe had parents that would say things for our protection. "Hey, maybe you shouldn't, say that, do that, whatever, because you're a black male in America and apparently people want to kill us." You maybe also had, with that said, you maybe also had a person in your life that, maybe said these things to put you down. They maybe said these things to get under your skin. They said these things because they wanted to, lift themselves up above you, make themselves seem better than you, whatever reason. It's very easy. Okay, we'll go back to the singer idea. Maybe you're this great singer, but you have someone who tells you you're a horrible singer. That didn't sound good. I don't like that song. Why do you get to sing it? that's really going to kill your confidence. If that note was a little flat, kind of, flubbed you, how does the whole thing sound bad going to make you feel? Okay? Now, put that in any other part of your life. Maybe you're an athlete, but they're telling you that you suck as an athlete. Maybe you're just a human. Maybe you're just a black male, and they tell you that you suck at being a black male. Or just tell you you're not black. ISIS. So yeah, maybe you have, whatever sort of person tell you something bad. And, these things get into you and they get inside of you and they start to eat away. I know for myself personally, I heard a lot of, you're not good enough type of, things throughout my lifetime, and a lot of criticisms and, a lot of bad advice and whatever. And, there was a bit of, you're ugly. And, also, I think hearing that with my divorce especially. They say sticks and stones are the only thing to break your bones, but words can actually hurt you. So, if you're someone, if you've gone through, divorce is basically death, but the person's still alive. They just die in your mind. And, a lot of times words are said, and all those words are great. And, if you're a sensitive person and somebody's, writing on the mirror in lipstick, you're ugly, that's going to kind of leave a mark. Why do I even bother looking at you things after that? Wow. Yeah, you're ugly. Wasn't this mirror, by the way. But yeah, that's kind of a stingful, thing there. So if you see something like that, if somebody tells you you're ugly, if somebody tells you you have bad singing voice, I don't know why I keep going to the singing voice thing. Nobody's really ever told me that. I actually been like, oh, you sound great. But, if somebody did, that's going to, knock your confidence. It's self-confidence, but that self-confidence is built through a lot of things. It's built through how you see yourself. It's built through what others project onto you so that you can see yourself in it. Self-confidence is built through two things. It's built through your eyes and your mirrors. Hey, hi eyes. What do you see here? Well, my eyes see that the hair's thinning. My eyes see, all right, the eyebrows are never going to be combed. My eyes see some extra hair along the face. My eyes see a couple grays in that chin. My eyes still see a great smile. Nice cheekbone, nice structure, not a lot of, no real distinguished wrinkles. Yeah, this is an image that I guess I could have thought my eyes would have saw of myself at 42. Maybe a little less hair actually, on the head. Maybe kind of done in some sort of way instead of, randomly cut here or there every other month. Maybe some sort of pattern with the face, maybe not, who knows. But yeah, this is 42. And the image that I had of myself at 42, I didn't really know if I'd have, It's kind of hard to see yourself and look in the mirror and realize, wow, you are actually an adult, you've lived past that point that you looked up and saw what adults were. Because this was kind of, that midlife adult was kind of, where I saw people as adults. I remember as a kid, it was all the people basically older than my mom, her brothers, sisters, all that. She was the youngest of 10. So I knew my mother really, in her, I'd say late 20s through her 30s, to 40. The version of my mom, I'd say, between 25 and 35, definitely different from the version of my mom after 35. Mom after 35 was more of an adult, you had to be. But, especially, so yeah, all the people 35 and up, 40 and up, those are people that I always kind of thought of as being adults. And now seeing myself in this group here, it's a bit weird. Um, see myself in the, adult equation. And, I never really knew what to expect of adult me. Um, yeah, just looking back on, I have some pictures, here on the wall, and it's me at various stages of life, and along with other family and friends and all that. And I can't really look at any of these and say, hey, well, this is adult me, Yeah, okay, this is, maybe there's one where I'm at Paisley last year. There's another one with my grandmother. Okay, maybe those are kind of adult-ish. Like, okay, I can obviously see signs that I've grown up, from looking at the kid photos, as far as the differences. But at the same time, yeah, I just didn't really, the adulthood kind of sneaks up on you a little bit. And the image of what you have kind of sneaks up on you a little bit. So, my image has always kind of been, all right, I guess I, look a lot, and people tell me all the time, I can't remember what the guy at the place today told me, he was thinking mid-20s, and I'm like, thank you, dude. People tell me all the time I look a lot younger than I do. It's kind of weird to say, but I think a lot of that is just I feel, that I haven't really looked my age or felt my age for, that number of years. But even with that said, even some of those adult years, even later on or whatever, I looked a little bit older or younger, maybe with some hair dye, give or take, but I really felt older being the bigger person. I look through some of these pictures here, and yeah, it's the ones where it's like, okay, I can see, there's one of myself and my friend Gail, and I look like I'm twice her size, just because I am wider, twice her size. Is one of my grandmother and I, and again, it's like it's the angle, but I look like I'm a little wider, twice her size. A little taller also than both of these folks, but definitely more on the wider side there. And that was kind of the scary. So for me, I never really noticed weight coming off. It started coming off really in 16, and again, I didn't notice it. I came back to work, and I actually went to work one of those crazy overnight shifts. And I remember one of my coworkers, every day she was like, "Have you lost weight? What's going on? Have you lost weight?" I'm like, "No. Is it Friday? That was like a bad month also, because it was like you're supposed to be working this overnight shift for a week, and then on Friday each week it would turn into another week, and it was like, oh, really? So, oh yeah. No, I swear I've not lost weight though. I'm just walking dogs, and that's probably it. Also, yeah, I walk the dog around, and I'm walking dog, drinking water. It's hot outside. I don't eat much. I'm crying. Yeah, I'm great. Sure, I've not lost a bit of weight though. I didn't see it. But the 150 or 145 plus, it started dropping down to like 125. Or excuse me, 225. The 245 plus. Excuse me. Oh, I wish that was 125 plus or 150. Yeah, wish that was 150. Yeah, the 250 or 245 plus. That dropped down to like 225. That wasn't doing anything. Didn't change a thing other than drinking water. And that was about 16, went into 17, and okay, great. I'm, medically, whatever, I'm stressed, and okay, I need to start working on me though. And yeah, it started kind of fading away also. To the point of I actually shared a photo, shared in the Instagram stories yesterday. It'll probably be gone So maybe I'll share this Facebook post tonight or something. But shared a photo in the stories from a trip to Publix that I took yesterday. And, as you know, the scales in Publix are so accurate. They even tell you on the scale that it's a half inch off, or a half pound off. So, I got on the scale here, and I think I got on like maybe a month or so before, just randomly. And I still had everything in pockets that day. I was eating my jeans or whatever. And it was like a 207, like 207, 206. Didn't really think anything of it. I was like, I like 206, not 207, I'll say. Whatever, it's been hanging out there. I'm not going to worry about it, Went yesterday. I stepped on. Same shoes, wearing shorts. Just to, make sure, I did take the wallet and phone out of my pocket because I was like, wait a second, is that even right? And sure enough, it was half pound, off, right at 200. And that actually has me kind of thinking, all right, let's take a day, go see your actual doctor or whatever, they make you strip down in their room and do it, old school style there on their real scales. But it kind of made me think, that I need to, check into this here just because, like I say, it's me just doing me, hey, a little qigong, a little water, a little this, a little that. But that was really the first time, and I had to stop and I said take the picture so I actually could remember. It's the first time I can remember flirting with that number in a while. There's something like in the other bit of the podcast there, which if you listen to the podcast, YouTubers. But I'm having a conversation with Madeline. Actually, she was with me at Publix, and I was having a conversation with her about body image and how we see ourselves and everything. And it was weird because I had a belt here. Probably take it off and show you guys. The easiest way to do this. This is my trusty sturdy belt. Yippee-yo-ki-yay. For you folks here in YouTube land, you can see it says size 40. Genuine leather. This is the fun part. So up here are the notches. And this little center notch here. Actually, this little center notch here is about where we were on this belt. Really in buying. I think I had actually tried out, this guy here a couple times before the, second to the end. I didn't really get to the first to the end. But, and I put a lot of wear right here because this is really where I started it at. This second to the other end here. Is where I started it at. And then I went over here, to the middle one. Stayed here forever. You can see a lot of wear there. And I've come back over to this end spot over here, on the other end, where I actually need to, I was saying I need to go find a friend or a shoe carnival or something. Shout out to Shoe Carnival. They have the little belt hole punchers up there. I need to go and, hey, can you punch a hole way down here, a couple holes, maybe a couple more. Something to buy a belt, but I probably should just go buy a belt. Yeah, one that actually fits, just to see what my actual size is, because I'm a little curious right now. Because I've been wearing it like this for a few months. I've just kind of just gone to this belt here, especially nowadays, just so that I don't have to deal with much of belts. But yeah, it's just been kind of interesting, to see this, weight come off. I'm not going to stand up because these shorts will fall right off, and you guys will be seeing mosquitoes, and we're not allowing that. But yeah, it's been kind of an interesting ride here because this has not been planned. None of this with my body has been planned. And it's weird to get used to this new shell of me. And I think that a lot of it really is learning to accept me, learning to love me, as I am whole as the person, looking to get past any sorts of things where, somebody else may have said something different, like, oh, you're ugly, oh, you're big, all your family members are big, oh, your friends are big, here, have another piece of chicken because it's the South and everybody's big here, you're not big unless you're big, you gotta be big, boy. Yeah, so, and weights of protection thing also, that's one, big thing that I did not touch on, but, I probably should here. A lot of people, when you have some sort of trauma, some sort of abuse, when you have some sort of, sexual thing especially, you know what? Eat it away. Or, store it away. Just, you've had something, you've seen somebody shot, you lost someone, whatever, you just back away, you stop moving. Yeah, it's really a lot of it. You stop moving, stop taking care of yourself. It's bad. And I don't want to become that. I want to be able to take care of myself. I like to be able to do so better, obviously. But I want to be able to improve and grow, become a better person. So, hopefully I'm on a good track here. Hopefully this has been a good pathway that I'm on as far as, the water and, some of the diet stuff and the Qigong. I guess we'll find out in insert amount of time here whenever I'm dead, if it did work out. If it's like, if I die at 95 and I'm like, oh yeah, it was just old age that killed him, or that school bus, then I guess, yeah, the water and Qigong worked out for me then, so that's what we're going to kind of shoot for. 95, old age, and a school bus. That's what we're shooting for, buddy. Yeah, so yeah, just, we'll see how that works. We'll come back to this video, I guess, in 42 now, so a few years, and see. But yeah, the kind of interesting thing, going back to the belt here, and I said this to Madeline at the time, this is what kind of sparked a lot of this, is as we look at the third, look at the third notch, middle one, I thought I was going to go more this way. I thought I'd be bigger. I thought I'd outgrow this belt. I thought I'd outgrow a lot of things. Instead, it seems to be going the other way. Instead, it's like, hey, I'm shrinking. Hey, maybe I should, think about buying some clothes that are actually, going to fit me. Maybe instead of buying a Prince costume a size too big, maybe I should actually buy it my size. Though, let's be honest, that costume's probably 2 sizes too big by now. Well, I'll say a size too big. I didn't know. It was off the internet. Either way, I should probably measure myself and, get one my size. Maybe I should get shorts my size, pants my size, we take the time to try on our shoes and walk around for 30 seconds before wearing them. Shouldn't we do this for the rest of our clothes? Maybe stop buying, shirts that are double sizes, so I'm going to, wear 2 and 3 shirts together, so kind of hide, And yeah, like I said, it's very easy to hide things. Maybe it's time to stop hiding, and actually see who we are, see the beauty that's inside of us, beauty outside of us too. It's a difficult thing. I go back to that kid every time. You have beautiful eyes. Thanks, you're the first person to say that today. And it's like, I can whip myself over the head every time, but Derek, did you really have to say today? Derek, that was your boss. Did you really have to say today? He's just trying to be like, yeah, you're the first person to say that today. You have nice teeth. I don't know what to say next. It's because you catch yourself sometimes in that moment where you're not really sure of yourself, you're not really in love with yourself, and you're just like, my apologies. And it happens to a lot of us. And that's the thing that we need to break is, that not really having that love for ourselves, that believing the doubt others have put into us. And instead, knowing and being able to, say, hey, I'm actually a good person here. And I actually look like a good person. I actually look good for being a person. That's the thing, is being able to have that sort of self-love and self-guidance there. It's really tough and it's really important, but I hope that we can all achieve that. This has been Derek with Shamanic Innovations. I want to thank you all for joining. If you are not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're not yet subscribed to the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. Podcast runs on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Breaker, Beaker, something like that. All those podcast spots. YouTube runs, of course, on YouTube. This will go to, all the other outlets at some point here. And a couple of announcement things here. I'm going to have some Patreon stuff up shortly for everyone. Hopefully soon, some extra little goodies there. There will be some extra content, going on, for everybody to check out. Once we get some Patreon, subscribers, we can start getting that kind of moving there. I also am going to be giving some services out, as far as help with, some social media, website, just, life stuff in general. Starting to work with people, getting that sort of stuff there. If you are one of those people, give me a call, please. Or if you're somebody who needs that sort of help, give me a call, please. But especially if you're one of the people who I work with now, love hearing from everyone. We're going to be just kind of looking at doing some changes here in this next month as we get into July, going through the summer, and hopefully getting things on the move. So thank you all for joining, either through the visual or audio means, and I hope this finds you in a great place today. Last thing, and I totally didn't think about this when I sat down to talk, but pull some new cards here. I know and affirm that my body is a friendly place to live. I have respect for my body, and I treat it well. I affirm positive things about my body and tell it I love it often. Because we don't really tell ourselves how much we love ourselves. We don't really, go into that mirror, we don't to ourselves and, notice the things that are going well, going good. We don't really take the time to love ourselves. For a lot of us, it is, how much can we hurt ourselves on a daily basis instead of knowing that, maybe there's something good coming out of it. So take a few moments, tell yourself, find that mirror. Hey, you know what? You're a good-looking person. You're a great person. You're a wonderful body. I love you. You're beautiful. You're excellent. You're strong. You're healthy. You got this. And we're going to see you again soon. You guys take care. Peace out. Don't let the rocks hit you. Don't let the gigs bit you. And